nervous. Stay away from the phone. Stay away from the phone. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Do you remember that one night when we fell?
Okay, so the nation hasn't been this divided in a long time. Trump just left federal court on charges of espionage and mishandling classified information. Joe Biden and the Democrats are so afraid of this man. They lack so much confidence in Joe Biden's ability to win in 2024 that they're trying to knock Trump out of the race preemptively. They've sicked the Department of Justice and federal law enforcement on Trump. He's been charged twice. He's been arrested twice, arraigned twice. And this is after Biden sent the FBI to raid Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago on a fishing expedition last fall. So let's read here. Donald Trump stopped at a Cuban cafe in Miami minutes after pleading not guilty in his classified documents case, remarking that his historic court appearance had spoiled his birthday. The former president turned 77 on June 14th, and a crowd who turned out to see Mr. Trump at the Versailles Cuban restaurant saying happy birthday to him. You see, no matter how bad they try to paint him, the people still love him. He has millions of supporters, and people with common sense and reason can see through all this bogus propaganda that they're pushing against Trump. Soon after leaving the courthouse, the former president's convoy of about a dozen SUVs made a surprise stop at the restaurant, a favorite spot with politicians campaigning in Miami known as the world's most famous Cuban restaurant. Yeah, so the federal court was in Miami. Trump left there. He's not fazed by it. He was more annoyed than anything because they're really wasting taxpayer dollars doing all these investigations. And they're wasting his time. He can be out on the campaign trail. He can be doing 1,000 other things, but they want to force him to make all these court appearances, knowing that nothing's going to come of it. And yeah, after Trump left this restaurant, he exploded on Biden. He exploded on that prosecutor, Jack Smith, and he let them know how he really feels. Let's take a look.
Today we witnessed the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country. Very sad thing to watch. A corrupt sitting president had his top political opponent arrested on fake and fabricated charges of which he and numerous other presidents would be guilty, right in the middle of a presidential election in which he is losing very badly. This is called election interference and yet another attempt to rig and steal a presidential election. More importantly, it's a political persecution like something straight out of a fascist or a communist nation. This day will go down in infamy, and Joe Biden will forever be remembered as not only the most corrupt president in the history of our country, but perhaps even more importantly, the president who, together with a band of his closest thugs, misfits, and Marxists, tried to destroy American democracy. The prosecutor in the case, I will call it our case, is a thug. I've named him Deranged Jack Smith. I wonder what his name used to be, Jack Smith. It sounds so innocent, doesn't it? Jack Smith. What's his name? Jack Smith. He's a very nice man. I will appoint a real special prosecutor to go after the most corrupt president in the history of the United States of America, Joe Biden, and the entire Biden crime family.
So, what exactly is going on here? Great question. Another witch hunt. They've been trying to get this man for years. These people are so deranged that they'll do anything to maintain their power, and they are terrified of Donald Trump. Let's take a look at some of the things that they've been trying to get this man with. You see here's a list of all the actions they've taken against Trump. They're actually missing a couple of them because, like I said, it's insane. Charge after charge, scandal after scandal, they just continue. Stormy Daniels, the hush money. He paid a porn star, Alvin Bragg up there, the prosecutor in New York City, Fat Alvin, put up some BS charges on Trump. You saw that didn't go anywhere on the Stormy Daniels case. Civil case on some real estate assets going back decades. That went nowhere. They said he raped some lady decades ago. Recently, they came out with a civil judgment because she had a favorable judge. They came out with a civil judgment. So the left now thinks that means he's guilty of a criminal charge. But if he's guilty of a criminal charge, bring the case. They're not going to bring the case because they know it's BS. January 6th, don't even get me started on that. Georgia's trying to prosecute him now over that phone call he made. He's trying to make sure the Georgia election was squared away. And they're saying, hey, it was election interference. This is a federal crime. We need to get him on this. And what we're talking about today, the handling of top secret documents, Mar-a-Lago, another witch hunt. So yeah, they're also trying to get him with a criminal case in January 6th. You see that's not going anywhere. They already impeached him for it, a biased, partisan impeachment. And then you also have Russia, the Russia hoax. They didn't mention that here. And you also have, I don't even remember these ladies' names, but other ladies came out and said, hey, Trump touched me 20 years ago. Trump touched me 30 years ago. An onslaught of scandals and BS charges from the left because they don't really believe in democracy. The left says, oh, this is for our democracy. But when they say our democracy, they mean their liberal America. They mean their liberal authority. So what exactly is going on here? They put federal charges on Trump because when Trump left the White House, he moved down to Florida. He took a lot of those White House documents, his presidential records down there, and had them in his home/resort, Mar-a-Lago. So the National Archives has been working with Trump to get these documents. Trump hasn't delivered them yet. Maybe he could have did it faster, but he didn't see any need to rush because precedence has been set. He's not the first president to take documents with him, and nothing came of it with anybody else, but all of a sudden it's a problem when Trump does it. So they charge this man with espionage, obstruction of justice, and falsifying documents. It's ludicrous. They're saying you mishandled top secret information. Trump had nuclear secrets. He had information on our allies where they're weak. Maybe Russia or China is going to destroy them. At some point, it becomes obvious propaganda. These people are just trying to use fear tactics and scare the American people. First of all, a president can't mishandle secret documents because a president at his will can declassify anything. There's no higher authority when it comes to secret documents than the president. Some people think, well, the president should have went over here and got it approved over here and over there and had this group look at it. Well, if the president has to go to some bureaucrat, to some administrator to get permission or approval to have a document, to declassify a document, that means the president is not the highest authority. That means the bureaucracy is the highest authority, and they're not higher than the president. That means all of this is really BS. It's a complete waste of time. It's a complete waste of taxpayer dollars. The media knows it. The left knows it. Here's another situation. Joe Biden had top secret documents in his garage in Delaware, at his office in Delaware, and some at some place in D.C., and the left has no problem at all with it. And he wasn't even president. He was a vice president, and he was a senator. Some of those documents date back to the time when he was a senator, and he had those documents then. And he had no authority at that point. When he was a senator, he had no authority, and not even as a vice president, to declassify anything. But nobody cares. Bill Clinton, Obama, nobody cares because they're on the left. They just need something to charge Trump with, like come up with something. They're constantly throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. That's all it is. A total witch hunt. And it's very, very, very heavily media driven. The media is using scare tactics. The media is using propaganda and lies to smear the president because they're afraid of him in 2024. That's all this is about. The mainstream media has no ethics. In fact, let me show you this clip here of Vivi Ramaswamy putting one of them in their place.
With due respect, I think it is shameful that I, as a competitor to President Trump in this race, have to ask questions that the media isn't asking. The job of the political media, if it has one job, is to hold the U.S. government accountable.
Yes, we know that.
And instead, we're doing the bidding. You're seeing the media doing the bidding of the U.S. government.
No.
Ask the question. Get to the bottom of what Biden told Garland and what Garland told Jack Smith. If the same shoe fit the other foot, you would not take their word at face value. Do not take their word now. Get to the bottom of it. Let's actually restore journalism in this country. That's what's actually missing, is getting to the truth.
Thank you. Thank you. She was just trying her best to shut him up because I guess she invited him on thinking since he's an opponent of Trump, he was going to help smear and push their propaganda. But he told them off. They're a bunch of leftist hacks. So the country is very, very divided. And it is a horrible decision for the president to use federal law enforcement to attack his political rival. But what's going to come of this? Nothing. The media is going to keep pushing propaganda. They're going to try to keep any Democrats from shifting to the right. They're going to try to keep any independents from shifting to the right. And they're going to keep attacking Trump all the way to 2024. Let me know what you think. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.